So we are at Wren Lake here on a sweltering hot day. Gonna go on a 3-day canoe trip. Already just dripping in sweat, and I haven't even started paddling. I've just got changed. But we're going on this trip today to retrace the route that my dad and uncle did in the 70s. I know they went to Trice, and it seems to have since been lost. There are no marked portages anymore. It's out of the Algonquin Water Trails area. So we're going to go through Black Lake and then try to get into the upper and lower Pairo lakes. Okay, so we got a quick fire going here, trying to help keep the bugs away, and we're going to do our fireside chat. I imagine tomorrow will be my last day as I head out of here because I'm kind of sick of the bugs, and the heat is also really getting to me. So let's summarize this trip. Day one, we started out going into the Wren Lake axis, past all the cottages. As people were nicely, one girl was even out raking her beach. Under Highway 35, and there we go. A couple of little short portages, Beaver Dam. And then as we started getting into the Black River, we started with the upper marsh, then portage into the lower marsh, and then one more portage into Black Lake. We paddled around Black Lake. Noticed there's a few cottages on there and only 2 campsites. Checked them both out. Everything has ATV access, we're noticing, which I thought, I didn't like at first, but let me go on to day 2 and I get to that. So we had a nice little campsite. We went for a couple swims. We went for that nice hike to try to figure out the portage route. We were able to figure that out, so that was a big relief, even though I still don't really know ATVs. I really got to question what they are doing in life. Then, day 2, we woke up early, got up, got out on the water, knew exactly where we were going, found the portage, started the portage, and we thought it was going to be a bushwhack. No, it's actually all ATV trails the whole way, so that turned out quite nicely. It was actually, even though it was a 1.9 kilometer portage, I believe it only took me an hour and a half or so. Usually it would take me 2 hours, but because it was clear sailing on the roads, a little bit of elevation, but nothing too bad. Had to avoid a few water holes on the ATV trail, but honestly, that was a beauty. Then we get over and we're finally on the lower Pairo Lake, retracing my dad and my uncle's footsteps. That was great. Seeing possible campsites they may have stayed at, even paddling some that probably have closed if they did exist in the past. I'm sure after my dad might have been the last people to use it. Also, we're going to see if they left me any fish. Then we skipped the portage and just went through the little creek, went through the little marshy area between upper and lower Pairo lakes into the upper Pairo Lake. And there we caught a couple bass. Once again, checked out a few more campsites and then decided to paddle our own way. And here we are up at the campsite on upper Pairo Lake. Don't see any numbers left on that. It looks like the last time this campsite was used was a very professional setup. Look at the stove on that, the bricks. That was going to be a nice play. That would be a very nice for a fish fry. And if you're seeing what I'm seeing, it looks like this is part of an ATV trail. So that might be who used it last as ATVers. I don't know. Something about this site seems too small and too close to an ATV trail that I'm assuming the old site my dad used is well overgrown over on the other side. I didn't really see much access up to it. That's just gonna be my assumption. I'm gonna make it. Then again, this site is also pretty old, so maybe that's indications there. That was done quite some time ago. Good 900-meter portage took us to Carcass Lake, and when we first got here, we saw the campsite at the end of the ATV trail. Like, ugh. It was so buggy. I was trying to refill my water and I was just getting bugs everywhere. So then we paddled, kept paddling on. We found the other campsite that's marked on my map. except that campsite hasn't been used. There's no fire ring. There's no bathroom, that's fine, but there's not even a tent pad really or anything. You can see where there was a tent pad, and you might see what used to have been a fire pad, a fire pit. But anyways, getting a little smoky. Then we saw a moose. We didn't even see it there. We were kind of almost about to hit it and take a big leak right in front of me. And then we got to stare at that for maybe a good 5-10 minutes. That was actually pretty cool, checking out the moose. Sorry if I was bothering it though. I hope I wasn't being too obnoxious. I was just trying to see it through the thing, but I do admit my vessel and everything I do seems to make too much noise compared to what a moose is used to. Anyways, then we went and tried to see if we could find a better campsite on Red Chalk Lake. We started taking the trail. We got completely lost on ATV trails, went way out of our way, maybe an extra kilometer to 2 out of our way. Ended up at this little teeny area, beach access, that was at the end of an ATV area. Waited out a thunderstorm then. I thought that was safe. Tried checking out the lake, didn't find anything campsites. Then found the actual portage, took that back, found my canoe, and then we settled on that junky site that is at the end of the portage from Upper Pairo to Carcass Lake. The bugs have been the bugs have been terrible. We've been staying in the bug tent mostly, but we did get out to go fishing. We had quite a few bites. It was really fun getting a few bites, even did some trolling and everything else, but I never got to reel anything in. They kind of felt like smallmouth, so maybe that's best that I didn't get anything in. I was hoping there'd be some trout, but they did not hit or feel like trout in my opinion. So anyways, on to day 3. We're going to portage over to Red Chalk Lake. Do that. It should be a very short portage into Blue Lake. And then we got about a kilometer portage into Shoe Lake. So no marking here to find the portage. So there's a bushwhack through all of this, rather strenuous. To get up to the road, only maybe 50, 100 meters. And I'm assuming this is the trail, so this is looking more promising. It's also, there's a flag there, that's good. Let's see what we can do. And you just basically follow this ATV trail. There are some flags towards the Shoe Lake side. So you follow along this road here until you see this, and then you veer that way. Take the old portage sign. Hard to see it from the road. There's the portage sign. Go too far, you end up on private property, so that's how you know you've gone too far. And look at that, there is a sign at the end to mark this lovely portage. The only problem is the dock's all the way over there. But then after that, the portage into 5 Mile Bay should be a lot easier, and we're hoping all goes well with that. Now this portage here is looking a little bit more interesting, more to my liking after that last grueling one. There's even a little library. So the portage from Shoe Lake to Raven Lake is pretty easy, I suppose, if you like roads. There's some good incline and decline. I'm even wearing 2 bug nets because they kept finding my face. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go. I was afraid people might steal my stuff if I just leave my pack at the Raven Lake boat ramp because it's pretty busy. So I stashed it in the woods here. All right, time to go before someone steals my boat. And we should be back at Wren Lake before you know it, and heading home to celebrate what's left of my 15th wedding anniversary with my lovely wife, Turtle. Anyways, thanks for joining, thanks for watching, and thank you for my dad for suggesting this trip, and also to my uncle for going with my dad 50 years ago. Anyways, cheers guys.